Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're having a great day. David Rice here, as always, with my partner in crime, Kevin Henry. How are you, Kevin?
Dave, it's all good here. Snow is coming down, so why not? We've gone from playing golf yesterday to watching the snow come down today. But I know it's the same way in Florida. I know that's exactly how the weather is there as well.
You know, it pains me that I'm not in Buffalo, New York for the snow, but the beach is the sand snow is working out okay from afar, of course. But
Of course, of course. So,
yeah,
well, hey, super glad to be on with you as always, and super excited to have a good friend and one of those great experts whenever it comes to dental software out there, and that's Andre Shirdan. Andre, how are you, my friend?
Oh, good. How's it going, guys? Good to see you.
Hey,
good to
good
see you too.
to see you too,
It's
man.
better than running into you in an airport.
Mm.
Exactly. I'm ready for somehow I'm ready to run into you at a trade show or something soon. So here's
Very
hoping.
soon.
But
Very soon.
Andre is such a great resource on Facebook, and we'll make sure that we have a link to his Facebook page down underneath so that you all can hook up with him in Facebook. But Andre, right now dental practices are closed. I know a lot of folks are trying to figure out how to stay productive, and obviously you're one of those guys I go to whenever I have a software question. So what can they be doing software wise right now to really stay active and keep productive?
Well, this is one of those things that I'm sure you guys have done this too. Throughout all the times we have discussions, it's always about shutting down to train, shutting down to retool, shutting down to do that, and everybody's scared to do that. Well, we've forced ourselves to take the moment to do that. I mean, years ago, Starbucks did it. They all $35 million in one day. But guess what? They got people like me back into their stores who were coffee addicts. So what I've told offices, this is the great time to retool, to get ready so that when we're back in business, we're going to be able to be lean and mean. So this is the time to work on your employers. This is the time to work on duplicate patients, duplicate insurance companies, fee schedules, better estimations, so that when we get back to it, we're ready to rock and roll, because patients are going to be very, very concerned about out-of-pocket expenses. And if we're lean and mean and we're able to give them true estimations, then they're more likely to give up the cash that they have at the time. So what I've been working on with offices is duplications of insurance companies, which will help the claim payments come factor. Duplications of employer names so that we have better estimations set up. So those kinds of things to help us so that we're lean and mean when we get back to regular business.
Ooh, I love that. So I'm going to look at all of you who are watching this and say, maybe you're a little bit like our practice, and we do a lot of stuff right, but we could do a lot of things better, to Andre's point. And how much more comfortable will our patients be when they walk in the door and we can give them a really tight estimation of everything that they can expect from us, and financially we would expect from them, because we have all that information already. Love it.
And Andre, how much are team members able to do from home? Obviously, I know we're all at home, we're all working remotely. What is that doing right now to software training, software updates in your estimation?
Throughout this process, I've actually done I guess at this point, about 10 Zoom calls where, just like we're doing today, all the team members are on their individual computers. We're dialed into the office computer through a Zoom, Team Viewer, any of these formats, and actually doing this work remotely, but to the office that's open. Sometimes we do have some team members who are in the office and working, but I can't tell you, I've done a bunch of them. I think I was going to say 10, but I think it might have been more than that. I did one this morning. The best thing about this is, we're down. There's nobody else in the software. We can work on it, and this is the perfect time to get it done.
Dave?
No, I love it. And I know, we have in our practice sort of a skeleton team that comes in and it rotates. But to your point, we've done Zoom calls and team meetings. So this is a great extended team meeting that we could have and work on things that we know about. And Andre, so what things should we be working on ourselves, and what things should we be looking to, to help with?
Well, I like to coordinate looking at low hanging fruit. I mean, for me, it's about processes. And I see, again, I worked in a dental office for a really long time. So I know as a recovering front desk person, you know, I want to go A through Z cleaning up an employer list, but I realize sometimes we're going to have somebody who works for Aardvark Insurance Company that will never have come back. So let's not worry about them. Let's worry about the patients who are scheduled, and let's work on the active patients who are scheduled. Let's do that. Let's clean those up so that the people from the local school district, which is probably our biggest group of people, are going to be the people we touch first. Um, Looking at lists like, if we go into the list of employers, like anything listed as self or retired. Well, okay, David, you're self-employed, but I doubt if you had a dental plan, it would be listed as self. It would be under the practice name. So looking at little things like that that are low-hanging fruit, and realizing that if we look at a retired list and then we look at the group numbers, and the group numbers are say 104 or 105, we realize those are retired federal employees. So we can clean that list up really quickly, combine them, get down to one federal or two federal employees, and then we can get that estimation proper because we have them listed as retired. We might have to clean up 6 or 7 to get one good one. So like I said, low-hanging fruit, start with the things like insurance companies. We only have, say, 100 insurance companies. Well, we've got thousands of employers. So let's do the insurance companies first. Work backwards and backwards and backwards. So I've actually put together a bunch of videos for this, a bunch of little how-to sheets in the Facebook group. But work on low-hanging fruit. That's my job, is to work on the efficacy of this stuff. Let's come up with processes, and then we work backwards from there.
Is the low hanging fruit some of the biggest mistakes that you see practices have made before this that they need to be working on now?
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny. I'm in Pennsylvania, and some of the biggest insurance companies we deal with are here. And I think of Delta Dental of Pennsylvania as one that's in dental office software over and over again. And as somebody from Pennsylvania, I can't tell you how many ways I see Pennsylvania spelled. So I look at a dental office and I see Delta Dental of PA, Delta Dental of Penna, Delta Dental of Pennsylvania. Those kind of things. If we can clean that up, and we realize that almost every office that I go to will have Delta Dental of PA at 1 Delta Drive in their system. Well, that's their corporate office and not a mailing address for claims. So that's such a simple thing, but that could hold your claim up a week before getting paid. And if we're talking about coming out of this and getting lean and mean, that's one easy thing, that there's 2 addresses, 2105 and 2159. It's terrible. I know these addresses. I don't know my kids' birthdays. But if we can clean those things up, like I said, we're going to come out lean and mean, and we're going to be able to present to patients a treatment plan, a walkout statement, or whatever, and say to them, we know it's correct, and we're going to get our money back in 7 to 10 days and be ready to collect co-payments at the time of service.
Love it.
Yeah. And I think it's something that, again, while we've got the time, and I know, we're all trying to figure out ways to be productive. We may not know exact dates of when we're going to go back or whatever it might be, but now's the perfect time to really be thinking about those little hiccups that have kept dental practice from being productive for so long. And Dave, I know, I hear from the front, from the cross-trained dental assistants who have to work up front, and they bang their head against the wall every once in a while just because it's kind of whenever they get up there. And I know you hear this from dental practices as well.
No, I do. And I think, to Andre's point, it's about developing strong systems that we can rely on. So if we unplugged any one of the 3 of us, somebody could be plugged in, and the process would be pretty straightforward. We might need a little education, but even that we can create process for. How do we train somebody to come in? And I think, to Andre's point, if we can simplify the system, and then we can train our team on what we're doing as well as why we're doing it, then when we do come back, our assistant who picks up the phone or tries to make a handoff from back to front, everything gets streamlined.
Yeah, I had a doctor ask me, or actually called me and said, I finally understand why your company is called Crew and not Team. And she said, I realize when we come out of this, some of our team members will not be part of where we go forward. But as a crew, guess what? The 3 of us, we get in the boat and we row, and we figure out how to make it happen, and we get to our outcomes. It's not about camaraderie. It's about knowing how to do the job. And ultimately, we have to figure out where we sit on that boat. and how do we row. So I think it's going to be a lot of changes that we're going to face coming forward, but I think making sure that systems are in place so that any one of us can sit down and enter insurance information. If we have a system, if we have a process, then it makes it so much easier.
Absolutely.
Great.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I was just going to start wrapping up by asking Andre, anything we didn't touch on that you want to make sure people know about software or what they should be doing right now? I mean, some great points all the way through here.
Yeah, this is a great time, if you've got the IT support to do it, to update to the current version of your software if you haven't done yet. But at the same time, I caution people, if if your IT companies are backlogged, don't do it now. This might not be the good time, but it is if you can have the IT support to do it. Update to the current versions of your software. Make sure that your staff is trained. We're going to have an exit date where they say we're ready to go back, say, God bless, May 1st, whatever it might be. We're going to get a little bit of leeway time. So do the time to do the training before we get back to the office.
Absolutely love it. Andre, thank you so much for your time, and you're a tremendous resource. Obviously, again, we'll make sure all of you out there can reach Andre. He's somebody you're going to want to connect with. As he mentioned, he's got a lot of videos and downloads already ready and waiting for you. So that's important, to have a process to learn as well as create the process in your practice. I know for some of you it's easy and familiar, and it just is a time investment, and for other it's going to be a little bit new to you, but we've got the time now, so let's maximize it. Kev, you want to bring us home?
Absolutely. Andre, hey man, thanks. And seriously, looking forward to seeing you in Philly or somewhere along the way sometime soon for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Andre, take care.